Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Channel. Today, we're diving into an explosive week in Port Charles, where tensions are rising, alliances are shifting, and shocking medical news could change lives forever. What lies ahead for your favorite characters? Will they outmaneuver their enemies, or will fate deliver an unexpected blow? Buckle up, GH fans, this one's going to be a wild ride. Sonny Corinthos faces a life-changing diagnosis. A battle beyond the streets. Sonny Corinthos has built his reputation as a powerful, unwavering force in Port Charles, someone who always lands on his feet, no matter the danger he faces. But this time, the battle isn't with a rival or a scheming enemy, it's one that his fists or his influence can't fight. The walls will start closing in on him as he awaits his medical test results in Los Angeles, and the tension will be impossible to ignore. Natalia Ramirez, who has been standing by his side through this trying time, will sense his unspoken fears. Though Sonny rarely lets vulnerability slip through the cracks, Natalia knows him well enough to see that something is off. She will encourage him to open up, to confide in her, but will he let his guard down? As the doctor enters the room with the results in hand, Sonny will brace himself for what's to come. Will it be a minor health scare, or could this be the kind of news that changes everything? If the diagnosis is serious, Sonny may be forced to rethink his entire lifestyle, from the risks he takes to the way he handles stress. No matter what, Natalia will remain by his side, but the question remains, how will Sonny handle the unknown? And could this medical crisis leave him vulnerable to his enemies? Lulu Spencer's determination, a mother's relentless pursuit. Meanwhile, back in Port Charles, Lulu Spencer will be on a mission that has consumed her every waking moment, the search for her daughter, Charlotte Cassadine. The road to a reunion has been long and filled with obstacles, but Lulu's resolve remains unshaken. However, not everyone in her life believes she's going about things the right way. Laura Collins, Lulu's mother, will find herself torn between supporting her daughter's persistence and fearing for her safety. Laura has seen firsthand how Lulu's impulsive decisions have led to heartbreak before, and she will urge caution. But for Lulu, caution is a luxury she cannot afford, not when her daughter is out there, waiting to be found. With new clues possibly emerging, will Lulu finally be able to bring Charlotte home? Or will this desperate search put her in more danger than she realizes? The answers may not come easily, and the risks may be greater than anyone anticipates. Anna Devane and Jordan Ashford, a high-stakes investigation over at the PCPD. Jordan Ashford will take decisive action against a growing threat, Jen Sidwell. Sidwell's name has been whispered in connection to more than a few suspicious dealings, and Jordan is determined to unearth the truth. But she knows she can't do it alone. Turning to Anna Devane, a seasoned investigator with years of experience in dangerous missions, Jordan will outline her plan to reel Sidwell in. However, Anna, always one to weigh risks carefully, will warn her to be cautious. Sidwell isn't just another criminal, Anna might caution. He's calculating, and if you make the wrong move, he'll see it coming. Despite Anna's reservations, Jordan will push forward. But will her ambition lead to a major breakthrough, or is she walking straight into Sidwell's trap? One thing is for sure, anyone who gets too close to Sidwell might not walk away unscathed. Drew Quartermain's risky encounter with Jen Sidwell. Speaking of Sidwell, he will be making waves elsewhere in Port Charles as well. Drew Quartermain will find himself in a tense encounter with the enigmatic figure, one that will leave him more suspicious than ever. What starts as a seemingly casual meeting will take a sharp turn when Sidwell unexpectedly drops Sonny Corinthos' name into the conversation. Drew, who has had his own fair share of dangerous dealings, will immediately recognize the red flags. Why is Sidwell fishing for information about Sonny? What is his real agenda? Before Drew can dig too deep, Laura Collins will step in, her instincts screaming that this conversation is going in a dangerous direction. She will caution Drew about getting entangled in Sidwell's business, but will he listen? Or will his curiosity pull him further into the web of deception Sidwell is spinning? Cyrus Renault loses his composure, a dangerous outburst. Meanwhile, over at Turning Woods, Cyrus Renault will have a meltdown that no one will see coming. The former criminal mastermind has been trying to reinvent himself as a reformed man, a changed soul who has turned his back on his old ways. But reputations aren't rebuilt overnight, and Cyrus will soon find out that the past has a way of catching up with you. Rumors will begin circulating, ones that paint him as anything but the reformed saint he claims to be. When the whispers reach his ears, Cyrus will explode in fury, demanding to know who has been spreading lies about him. But what if they aren't lies? What if someone has discovered something that threatens to unravel his carefully crafted new image? If Cyrus learns that Josslyn Jax has been snooping around, she could quickly find herself on his radar, and not in a good way. Cyrus may be trying to play the role of a man redeemed, but make no mistake, there's still a dangerous fire burning beneath the surface. Nina Reeves and Carly Spencer, an unholy alliance as tensions rise across Port Charles. A surprising partnership will emerge, one that no one saw coming. Nina Reeves will approach Carly Spencer with an unexpected proposition, one that could shift the power dynamics in a major way. Nina will first confide in Maxie Jones, laying out her strategy for aligning with Carly against a shared adversary, Drew Quartermaine. Maxie, always wary of Nina's impulsiveness, will raise concerns. "Are you sure you can trust Carly?" she might ask. But Nina will press forward, determined to make this alliance work. When she finally presents her offer to Carly, the atmosphere will be thick with tension. Can these two fierce women set aside their personal history for the sake of a mutual goal? Or will old grudges resurface, derailing any chance at cooperation? Lucas Jones' cautionary advice, a warning Carly might ignore at the heart of all the chaos. Lucas Jones will step in as the voice of reason. He will warn Carly that she is on the verge of making a decision that could backfire in spectacular fashion. "Stop before you make this worse," he might plead. But Carly is not one to be easily swayed, especially when she has a plan in mind. Will she listen to Lucas' words of caution, or will she march forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever consequences come her way? A week of twists and shocks awaits in Port Charles. One thing is certain: Port Charles is about to be rocked by betrayals, revelations, and high-stakes drama. Will Sonny's medical condition change the course of his life? Can Lulu finally bring Charlotte home? Is Jordan heading straight into danger with Sidwell? And will Carly and Nina's uneasy truce hold, or will it explode spectacularly? Next, we're diving into a whirlwind of intrigue, secrets, and high-stakes encounters unfolding in Port Charles. A web of deception is tightening, and our beloved characters are making risky moves that could change their fates forever. From suspicious partnerships to dangerous investigations, from hidden truths to unexpected second chances, there's no shortage of drama. Let's break it all down. Josslyn's relentless search for the truth, a dangerous obsession? Determined to uncover the truth about Cyrus Renault, Josslyn Jax has been piecing together the puzzle, refusing to back down despite the risks. She's become fixated on finding connections that might expose his operations, scouring the web for any detail that could be useful. But her latest discovery raises even more questions. When Lucas spots her deep in research mode, he asks her point-blank what she's looking for. At first, Joss brushes it off, but she soon reveals a name: Dr. Austin Gatlinholt. She informs Lucas that Austin was present at Cyrus' parole hearing and even testified on his behalf. That revelation alone is enough to make her suspicious. Could Austin be more involved than he's letting on? Lucas, ever the voice of caution, warns Joss that pursuing Cyrus could put her in serious danger. He reminds her that Cyrus is a seasoned criminal who doesn't take kindly to people snooping around in his business. Joss, however, assures him she has everything under control. But does she really? With her growing obsession, she may be underestimating just how much danger she's inviting into her life. A hidden operation? Jack and Joss dig deeper. Joss wastes no time in taking her investigation to the next level. The moment her mother steps away to take a phone call, she rushes to Jack, seeking his expertise. If anyone can help her track down information, it's him. She asks Jack if he can find out whether Austin purchased or leased a house in Port Charles around the time of Cyrus' release from prison. It's a long shot, but if there's even a chance that Austin is connected to Cyrus' activities, she wants to know. Jack, always willing to lend a hand, agrees to look into it. However, he urges Joss to be cautious. Every criminal leaves a trail, he reminds her. You just have to be patient. But patience has never been Joss' strong suit. She's determined to uncover the truth, no matter what it takes. A secret between Jack and Josslyn, keeping Carly in the dark. As their conversation unfolds, Jack senses another layer of concern in Josslyn's voice. When he presses her about it, she finally admits that she doesn't want Carly to know about any of this. She knows her mother has enough stress on her plate, and adding her own personal mission against Cyrus would only make things worse. Please, she pleads. Don't tell my mom about this. Jack hesitates for a moment, considering the potential fallout. But ultimately, he agrees. I won't say a word, he assures her. But keeping secrets from Carly Spencer is never easy, and sooner or later, the truth has a way of coming out. Brennan's encouragement, the fight isn't over yet. Elsewhere in Port Charles, Brennan sits at Bobby's, observing the bustling crowd around him. He doesn't have to wait long before Joss joins him at the counter. The two exchange quick pleasantries before getting down to business. Joss updates him on her latest findings, or rather, her lack of them. She confesses that she thought she had a lead on Cyrus, but it ultimately went nowhere. She's frustrated, feeling like she's chasing shadows. But Brennan, ever the strategist, refuses to let her give up. Every criminal has a pattern, he reminds her. If Cyrus isn't operating out of his known residence, that means he has a secondary base somewhere. You just have to find out where. His words reignite Josslyn's determination. A hideout. It makes sense. But how does she track it down? That remains the biggest challenge. Carly and Lucas, a mother's instincts versus a brother's concern. Meanwhile, Lucas accompanies Carly to the elevator, still trying to reason with her about Jack. He urges her to at least consider what he's been saying. But Carly, stubborn as ever, insists that she's fine. She won't back down from seeing Jack, no matter how much Lucas warns her. The conversation is going nowhere, so Carly shifts the subject. How about dinner, she suggests. Lucas agrees, but he has to make a quick stop at the nurse's station first. What should have been a routine detour soon turns into an awkward encounter when he spots Brad showing off his progress at the gym. Brad's confidence grows, winning over Stella? At the nurse's station, Brad is all smiles as he proudly flexes his developing biceps for Stella. His workout routine is clearly paying off, and he's not shy about showing off his hard work. Lucas, ever the supportive friend, offers a quick compliment. Looking good, he remarks. Whatever you're doing, it's working. But before the conversation can continue, Carly steps in, clearing her throat to grab Lucas' attention. She reminds him that they have plans, her tone laced with impatience. Carly may not say it outright, but it's clear that she still doesn't trust Brad, no matter how much time has passed. Curtis and Portia, second chances and old resentments. Over at the hospital, Curtis and Portia have an unexpected run-in. Curtis explains that he's there at Trina's request. Her friend, Kai, has been struggling with an injury, and she wanted Curtis to check in on him. Before their conversation can continue, Brad interrupts, asking Portia if he can leave work a bit early for a training session with his personal trainer. Portia hesitates at first, it's short notice, after all, but ultimately agrees as long as he finds someone to cover his shift. Curtis watches the exchange with mild confusion. He thought Portia couldn't stand Brad. When he asks her about it, she admits that she's trying to give him a second chance. Stella seems to like him, she explains, so I figured I'd at least try. Curtis isn't convinced. Given Brad's history, he feels like someone needs to keep an eye on him. Portia insists it's unnecessary, but Curtis isn't one to let things slide so easily. Before she can stop him, he walks off, intent on having a word with Brad himself. A week of secrets, investigations, and unexpected turns. From Josslyn's relentless search for the truth to Carly's ongoing battle with trust, from Curtis' protective instincts to the growing suspicions surrounding Cyrus Renault, it's clear that tensions are running high in Port Charles. With every character playing their own game, alliances will be tested, secrets will be exposed, and dangerous moves will be made. Who will come out on top, and who will find themselves in deeper trouble than they ever imagined? Next, we dive into a whirlwind of emotional conflicts, buried secrets, and high-stakes confrontations unraveling in Port Charles. A web of deception is tightening, and our beloved characters are making choices that will have lasting consequences. With powerful figures maneuvering in the shadows, shocking revelations, and a mystery that could shake families to their core, let's explore all the drama in store. Lois' secret from the past, a scandal 21 years in the making. Lois Cerullo never thought she'd be in this position, desperately seeking legal counsel to protect something buried in the past. But here she is, standing outside Martin Gray's Metro Court Suite, knowing that one wrong move could expose everything. When Martin opens the door, Lois wastes no time. She thanks him for agreeing to meet at his hotel rather than his office. Discretion is key, especially since he's currently representing Willow. The last thing she needs is for word to get out about what she's about to reveal. But before she speaks, she needs a promise. I need your word that what I say stays between us, she demands. Martin, ever the pragmatic lawyer, smirks. That depends. Do you have my retainer fee? Without hesitation, Lois pulls out her phone and sends him the payment electronically. There. Now let's get down to business. She exhales sharply, clearly struggling with the weight of her confession. This isn't just about me, it involves my daughter. And something that happened 21 years ago. If this secret comes to light, a lot of lives will be turned upside down. Martin leans forward, sensing the gravity of the situation. If you want my help, I need full disclosure. Tell me everything. The tension in the room is palpable. What is Lois hiding? And how far will she go to make sure the truth stays buried? Willow's move and Nina's influence, a mother-daughter bond tested as Lois lays the groundwork for secrecy. Elsewhere in Port Charles, Willow Tate is making a life-changing decision of her own, one that could change her future and redefine her relationships. In his Metro Court hotel room, Martin is still on the phone with Willow, discussing her move back in with Nina. He offers his legal insights, but his tone is more curious than critical. You sure about this? He asks. Before Willow can respond in depth, there's a knock at his door. Martin sighs, tells Willow they'll talk later, and ends the call. Willow, however, remains lost in thought. Returning to Nina is a complicated decision. There's history there, history that isn't easy to erase. She wonders if she's making the right choice or simply walking into another emotionally charged storm. Can she truly trust Nina? Or will this living arrangement stir up more trouble than she ever imagined? Dante's desperation, a search for the truth. At the same time, Dante Falconeri is facing a crisis of his own. Suspended from the force by Anna Devane, he's left feeling powerless. But being on leave doesn't mean he'll stop searching for answers, especially when the case involves Sam. In the Quartermain Mansion's kitchen, Dante corners Harrison Chase. He knows Chase is working with Sam on a sensitive investigation, and he needs a favor. I need to know who your person of interest is, Dante demands. Chase sighs, shaking his head. I can't tell you that, Dante. You know that. But Dante doesn't back down. Come on, Chase. If this was your family, you'd want to know. Unbeknownst to them, Rocco Falconeri is standing just outside the room, silently eavesdropping. He watches as his father presses Chase for information, his small hands gripping the doorframe tightly. Finally, after a long pause, Chase relents slightly. He lowers his voice. We're looking at Cyrus Renault. Dante's jaw tightens. Why would Cyrus want to kill Sam? We don't have a motive yet, Chase admits. And honestly, we can't do anything with this information right now. We need proof. Dante exhales sharply. He knows better than to let emotions cloud his judgment, but Sam deserves justice. I won't do anything reckless, he promises. But the fire in his eyes tells a different story. Brooklyn's regret and Tracy's pragmatism back at the Quartermain gatehouse, tension fills the air as Brooklyn Quartermain processes her latest misstep. Gio, standing at the door, holds one of Amelia's toys in his hand. I thought she left this behind, he says, scanning the room. Where's Willow? Brooklyn sighs heavily. She took the kids to Nina's. Gio raises an eyebrow. That wasn't the plan. Brooklyn rubs her temples. I know. It's my fault. I thought a little tough love might help, but it completely backfired. Gio, ever the optimist, tries to reassure her. Willow will come around. Brooklyn, however, isn't convinced. I might have made everything worse. Gio nods in understanding. It's not easy for her. Being here without Michael, it must be tough. And let's be honest, your family can be a lot. Brooklyn laughs bitterly. Understatement of the century. Before the conversation can go any further, Tracy Quartermain strides in, her presence commanding attention. Did you talk to Willow? She asks, scanning the room. Brooklyn shakes her head. It didn't go as planned. She took the kids and left. Tracy, ever the realist, barely reacts. Well, that had a shelf life, she says matter-of-factly. I'll go call the lawyers. Brooklyn watches as Tracy exits, realizing that in her grandmother's mind, everything is a negotiation, a problem that can be fixed with the right legal maneuvering. But this isn't business. This is family. And Brooklyn fears she's done irreversible damage.